Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Whoops. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in beautiful San Diego, California, where we are having a beautiful day. I think it's maybe 75 degrees outside, I'm not sure. But it was pretty nice to do a bunch of yard work this morning. So if you see a bunch of dirt under my fingernails that I didn't quite get clean, then now you know why. So I been trimming roses and trimming dead palm fronds and all sorts of lovely things. And today we're going to be doing a card using the new Sweet Jar bundle that is, I'm trying to think, no, it's not in the new catalog. It's a May online exclusive. If you guys haven't looked at online exclusives yet, honestly, if you're an avid stamper like I am, I'm really almost enjoying the online exclusives more than the catalog, although I go back and forth, of course, depending on the week and what I'm working on. Excuse me, just a reminder about the starter kit that you get $165 worth of product for only $99 plus free shipping plus a free paper pumpkin and a bunch of catalogs. It's a lot of fun, not to mention the fact that you get 20% off at least through, let me see, page two, through the end of October. And you also get to see all the new stuff like a month early. That means the new Next Line online exclusives, the new mini catalog, all that stuff you get to see and buy early. Also this month, if you buy $50 worth of product from me before tax and shipping, then you get to get some beautiful video tutorials, written tutorials using the Cheers and Sips bundle suite. Actually, it's a suite. That is also an online exclusive. So if you want 7 free video tutorials, written tutorials, just buy $50 worth of product. And next month, actually in June 22nd, we decided if you want to come here and do it, or I can send you everything you need, we're going to be using that Cheers and Sips bundle also. We've got new kits here, and every month 2 new kits, and you got to get them while they're hot because the real hot ones go out fast. Sometimes they'll reorder and stick around, sometimes they're in and out really fast. Also, something that's new, if you want to order something and it says currently unavailable, then what you want to do is there's a little box that you can check that says I want to be notified when it's back in stock, and you just check that box and they will send you a little notification, which is fabulous. That was something that the demonstrators asked for, and they made it happen. And I mentioned this last week, I'm just going to mention it one more time again. The only way to get a cloud cover ink pad is if you're a demonstrator. And the reason being is that about half the ink pads came in with a color shift, meaning that it wasn't a true cloud cover. It's more just a gray as opposed to a bluish gray that cloud cover is. And so they told the demos, you know what, we'll sell it to you guys, but if you get a good one, you're good. If you get one that's not really the color, too bad. We don't know which ones are good and which ones aren't. So the real way to get one is to buy the uninked little ink spots and ink it up yourself with a re-inker. Or at the beginning of the catalog, I'd have to check what page it is, but there is a set of 5 ink pads and one of them is cloud cover. Apparently the ink pads and the ink spots don't react with the ink like a lot of the regular ink pads do. So that's, if you really want a cloud cover ink pad, that's how you're gonna get it. And as always, when I'm done here, I upload this to my YouTube channel, which is the same, Stamp with Dr. Robin. And I also will write a tutorial that'll be on my blog, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com. And then everything written will be there in case I forget to also tell you about the measurements and such. So if you have any questions as I'm going, also let me know. Hey Carolyn, hey Tammy, good to see you both. I think there's a couple other people on too, so just say hi to everybody. And I'm going to put you down and show you what we're doing today. So this is the Sweet Jar bundle. It's actually a punch bundle, which is wonderful because those are usually cheaper, and they're so easy to use, and you don't have to have a machine or anything. And then we're also going to be using this painted stripes just stamp set. It's one of these really big ones like this. Takes up everything. I love this. Is another great thing about using it on the glass mat is you can use it on an F block, but you know what? This works just as well. And you can see it's kind of a watercolor effect there. But I realized I didn't show you really some cool things about this Sweet Jar bundle. So it has the jar, as you can tell, with the lid, which is separate. You can put these in here, which can, oh, what did I do with it? Can become, can be jelly beans, can be, what do they call them? Those almonds that are all those pastel colors. They can also be chocolate chip cookies, which, of course, those of you who know me know that I'm a chocolate person and I love those. You can make them birthday, you can make them Valentine's, you can make these flowers, or you can make them 4-leaf clovers. So a lot of versatility. These little dots are what you can use to make these chocolate chip cookies. Little sayings, happy birthday, miss you bunches. I guess that's if you're doing bunches of flowers. A little treat for you. Sending a little sweetness or love or luck, or what does that say? Party. Your way, it also says. So a lot of different things. So I'm going to show you what we're doing. I'm going to need your help. Which one you guys want me to make? I can make the one with the new strawberry slush color, or I can make one, whoops, this one's not sticking. One with the Shy Shamrock. And both of them are using the Everyday Arches dies. And then you open it up and it's still on the inside. So that's what this fun fold is about. And I thought either the birthday candles or what I made these into was jelly beans. Could be used for a birthday or could be used for anything else. So first person to tell me which color, Shy Shamrock or Strawberry Slush, and jelly bean or birthday candles. Strawberry Slush. Tammy, you're always quick on the, oh, we got two, and Lisa too. All right. We're doing the Strawberry Slush one. So let me get what I need for that. I'm going to show you, whoops, a couple of cool things to use. Well, first let's just do this since it's on here. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is actually Strawberry Slush on Strawberry Slush. And I did notice before when I was using it that it was a little, oh no, it's much better. So if you notice, especially with your newest ink pads, that they are, oh, now it's doing it again, a little too juicy. Just take a spoon, I have them sitting right here, and push that down and push the ink down in, and then it won't be quite so bubbly like it is. A little bit bubbly now. But I don't mind it as much as some people do. So this is how I like to use really large blocks like this, or I guess large stamps, is to just lay my paper down, and this is strawberry slush paper on strawberry slush. Lay a piece of scratch paper over it and just make sure that you're getting a good impression. Rub everywhere. Rub everywhere twice, actually. And this is the way, whether I have it on an F block or I have it on my glass mat, that's how I do mine. And it's supposed to look uneven like that. So now let's move this out of the way without getting it all over myself or everything else. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And what I'm gonna do next is no, that wasn't a piece of, I guess it is. Why is it not? Nope. Sorry, wrong piece. That is my piece of 11 by 4 1/4 of, I like using thick basic white, scored at 5 1/2. I tend to use thick basic white with all of my cards. I really feel like it's more professional feeling and looking, unless I've got one that has just way too many, oh, that didn't come out evenly, did it? Way too many layers on it that I'm worried about weight in the mail. And then sometimes I'll use a regular one instead of a real thick one. Good choice, Lisa. I'm glad you're all agreeing. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is cut out the arches. Actually, I guess this isn't 4 by, I think it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Yeah, so it's just gives you a little teeny border around it. I decided I didn't want to glue that or anything, but I did want to have something in the middle to kind of keep it in place while I cut it. So I just have a piece of, teeny piece of double-sided tape, or you could use, you know, Stampin' Seal when you use the Seal Plus. And that's just to kind of keep it in place here. And then what I'm going to do is to take my favorite little everyday arches, and I'm going to take the 2 of them that are 1, 2, 3, the 5th and 6th biggest. And I'm going to cut both of them, and you could cut them separately, or I kind of like to do it together like this. And you'll see why I'm doing 2 in a minute. But let me just, hold on a sec, get some washi tape. Did you guys see that new washi tape that's in the catalog? It's like 3 inches thick. I don't have it yet, but it looks kind of fun. It's 3 inches thick, and then it has a die to cut out these pretty flowers. All right, so what we're doing is trying to make sure that it's about the same distance front and back. And I think what I'm going to do is try to get the bottom one on here straight first, leaving enough room at the bottom to put our sentiment. And then a little bit of washi tape on each side so we don't move. All right, see that? We got 2 of them. And we'll see in a minute what happens with that. Oh, I just realized I had put this, oh, thank God that's the back. I had put this down right on top of where I had put my yucky pad that we just used. So my back is going to have a little yuck on it, but luckily it's just the back. All right, let's very carefully take that off. this, you'll notice, oh shoot, this washi tape is not coming off as well. This one, I kind of went like this on my pants a little bit and got it less sticky, and so that worked a lot better. But we could take a little strawberry slush pen here. See if I can fill that in a little. Nope, that's probably going to be a little too dark. I may have just made that worse, but hopefully it'll dry a little lighter. We can just pretend it goes all the way out like that. There. All right, ignore that. And that's our little inside piece. And this piece, because remember we had two of them, so it's created this little frame that we do not need for this, but I'm trying to take it off gently because you could use this for something else. So that is the reason that we cut it with the second one. You could leave them both on there, but then it would be really quite tight with putting that down. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can salvage this a little bit by, there we go, that's better. All right, so we're gonna glue that down. On the outside, remember we just have the teeniest. And now you can't even tell over here what was going on. Certainly the person getting it isn't, and actually it helps that it was going to be kind of all tight like that and irregular anyway. So you could leave both of these attached to each other, but you really don't need that thickness. And again, you've got a piece that you can use later on. So I'm just going to glue this down underneath. Now I'm hoping this is giving you guys all some ideas of how you can use these arches for, you know, other things. Obviously you could put anything on here that you would want, right? You could have one of those DSP that are more like a scene. Okay, so next step is stamping our little jar. And I want to show you, what did I do with it? My little trick for that. And where's my little thing that I wanted to show you? I have too many things on my desk, so stuff kind of gets to be a mess. Well, we'll just do it again. Oh, no. Here it is. So what I did, so that you can stamp this, because these two are separate, the jar and the lid, okay? So how are we going to do this so we can stamp them both and then cut them out is this is my little template. And my little template, all I did is take a piece of basic white and punch it out. And now what I can do is I can lay my stamps in here, just like this, and I'm laying them face down. And they kind of just perfectly, you know, fit in here. And then what you do is you take your block and you just pick them up with your block. And now when you stamp them, they should be able to be punched out here really easily. And that's a hint for any punch that you use. All right, so now that does not look straight. My little top does not look straight on here. That's what I did find though, is that sometimes the top didn't punch out as well as I would like. So I think I need to play with that just a bit more. or you can just do them separately, whichever seems easier to you. And then you're going to take your, I know it's upside down, let's try it that way. And then it should fit in together. Kind of trying to make my bottom part better than my top part. Where'd it go? There we go. And what we can do, which I've done a few times here, is just trim that off a little bit if it doesn't punch exactly where I want. Or you could always, you know, stamp it and do it just by itself, which we can also do that. All right, and then, oh, while we got it out, let's stamp. Now this little thing that we're stamping our sentiment on is from, where to go? It is from our Delightful Wishes. That's our one with all the yellows and such. It has this really nice, you know, place to do sentiments, and I figured out it fits perfectly, this little sentiment that says happy birthday. Sorry if my head or hands are getting in the way. It's hard when you can't get right over it sometimes. All right, and then the other stamping that we're going to do is we're going to make some jelly beans. And so the jelly beans, or whatever, Jordan almonds, that's what they're called. The way that we're going to do those is you could sit here and color each one of those. That would take forever. So the easier way to do it is to take our little smoky slate stamp, not stamp it on here, but stamp it off once, stamp it off twice, and then you're going to stamp it on here. And what you can do then is you can, that's not our best. Let's try it again. I think I stamped it off too hard because I can't even see them at all. So we'll stamp it off lightly. We'll see if we can get a better one that we can see. I mean, I can barely see it, but I don't think you guys are going to be able to see it enough. There we go. So you can lightly see those jelly beans, and because, you know, if you're doing it yourself where you didn't have to show anybody this is how it is, I would probably, you know, have used that one, but I didn't think you guys were going to be able to see it at all. So then you just start coloring pretty jelly beans. So let's get our strawberry slush, and I found using a marker was easier than using a blend sometimes on these, especially the smaller ones. This big one like that probably wouldn't matter, and I'm actually using the smaller end of it. Let's see. Yeah, it does make it harder when I can't. Let's do maybe this one. And you see how you can't even tell that there's something under here? You'll be able to tell a little bit more with the lighter ones, like this is Daffodil Delight. And you can tell a little bit more with these. I'll use that there's something kind of under here. I actually think this is how they're made Darling Duckling, that it's Daffodil Delight plus a little bit of smoky slate, and that's how you get that. But I just kind of went with bright colors, and we got our Shy Shamrock. Put it up here. And put them down here. And then when they're big like this, I can turn it over once I've outlined it well. And then maybe is there a little one down here somewhere? What do you guys think so far? Are you liking my color choices? This is Gorgeous Grape. Some of these are old markers that I've gotten basically from other people. I think you can tell the ones that are the newer markers are definitely have more in them. Definitely easier to use. It's kind of fun to see the difference. And then maybe and then maybe some Timid Tiger for the last couple. And this is actually the same thing if you were going to use the candles. I did the exact same thing for the candles. The smoky slate stepped off twice and then colored them in. All right. And then what I did, oops, missing a little bit right here. Then what I did is I took, sorry, this is not a Stampin' Up product, but just a little white gel pen. And I made some little just kind of lighter areas on here. Kind of makes them, this works really well if you've got like balloons or anything that's round, like just this is the little light spot on them. And they don't all need them. Okay, let's put our little jellies on here. And I did put them on with some dimensionals. And we're going to need those little baby ones too, but let's put this on first with the regular size ones. I love these bright colors, you guys. If you had to ask me, when people say, well, what's your favorite grouping, I always say the brights. I think those, when I started with Stampin' Up, this was the first set of inks that I got, was the brights. So I really like just bright, happy colors. Whoops. This is barely going to fit on here because remember I cut it down a little bit. If I hadn't cut it down, this actually fits on here perfectly, but I may have to do a little trimming if they show. Where'd my scissors go? There we go. We'll get our little happy birthday on there too. Happy birthday to you, whoever you are. Let me see. It's my cousin's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to my cousin Karen. She got a card already. There we go. And then what I had used for the little bow is I took some of this, this is called bordered ribbon. This was from last year, and for all of the in colors from last year. So this is the Pretty in Pink. And what I did is I cut it down the middle to get it smaller, so half its size. And that's what I used to make the bow. So I still have the other half of it, and that's what we're going to use right now. So when I do my bows, I like to make two little, this is, you see these little fuzzy things that comes off when, if you've done it really straight. I like to make two bunny ears and then wrap them around. Wrap one over and through the hole, because it almost always comes out nicely. And then I just pull them until they seem right. Pull them really tight. And then trim the edges. And then with this, because of, you know, the way it's been cut, you get sometimes these little fringes. So I'm going to cut off the little fringes. Probably it'll make more fringes, but at least we'll start by cutting them off. See, it keeps making more fringes. Sometimes that's a nice look, you know, to have them a little fringed, and some people will, you know, fringe up the ends, but I'm not doing a boho chic kind of card today. We'll get a little glue dot on here. Pick yourself up off of there. Sometimes they don't want to come off. Oops. I put these on here, but I didn't stick this down. There we go. That look festive. All right, and now we just need some bling. So I think I've covered up my bling. Where did you go, little bling? I have two sets of bling to use, potentially, and now I've covered them all up. Bling, come back. There they are. So what I have for potential bling is the 2024-6 and the 25-7 in color flat pearls. So both sets of in colors come with these flat pearls. And because I've used Timid Tiger on here, we could do Strawberry Slush, but that kind of blends in. So I think I'm going to use what I did on the other one, which is the Pretty in Pink. And they come in three, not two, but three. Get my take your pick tool. So we got a small, a large, a medium, and then a small. And I used one of each on here. So that is the one that we did today. That is the one I did the other day. And this is the one I did with the Shy Shamrock. So I think this is a really cute set because it's, you know, a punch set. It's so easy to use. I would have played a little bit around with it a little bit more in that, you know, the way I picked it up onto the stamp here and stamped it maybe a couple times on some scratch paper to see how it lined up so that I didn't have to cut that off. But once you get it on, then it's, you know, and in a good spot, it's really, really easy to use. So any questions, anybody? Did I make you want to go out and buy this little set and get going on making a whole bunch of birthday cards or whatever. I could, you know, using this, you could put almost anything in there. You could put some flowers in there, you know, like cut out some flowers from another set and stick flowers in there. At on stage, they had taken these itty bitty, I don't know if you've seen it online. I've seen it online too. These itty bitty bouquet things, put a whole bunch of glue down and then just let it run into the jar. It was really stunning looking. So that's just a whole bunch of ideas. You put anything in here. Somebody else I saw somehow made a firefly. I don't think, must have been an old stamp because I don't think we have firefly stuff anymore. Put some put the lid on, put fireflies in there. So that's all just a whole bunch of ideas. And you're in the cookies, like I showed you. Where's my cookies? You know, you could easily put the cookies in here and it would still be a cute happy birthday card. Like I said, it also comes with the little shamrocks, which would go really great on this one here. So I'm gonna put you up for a sec just to say bye, and great hanging out with you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. And don't forget, $50 worth of product from any of us in our Papercraft Collective group, and you get that for free. The 7 video and written tutorials on how to use your Cheers and Sip set. So take care, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye.